Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. I will just give it 1 more minute before we kick off, just give a few more people a chance to join, but thank you all for being on so promptly. We're 1 minute past, so I think I'll start anyway. So, yep, thank you everyone for joining today. Our webinar, where we're covering 3 technologies, all kind of relevant to internal communications, external communications. Today we're looking at AI voice, so AI is hot on the agenda of most organizations, but we're coming at it today with a clear example of how that can be used, particularly within customer engagement. We'll be looking at telephony, and also more of a deep dive into customer engagement and how all the tools that are available through some of our partners to enable that. Firstly, just a quick overview of PrimeTel. So we are independent technology advisors set up in 2016 with a primary aim of helping companies buy technology better. I could go on and on about PrimeTel and what we do, but I'll try and keep it short and sweet. Essentially, our role is to help you buy technology better. As part of what we do as a business, we're continually evaluating the market, meeting new suppliers, understanding what's different about the suppliers, what their uniqueness are, and how they can be matched to your requirements. The whole aim of that is to speed up your buying process. So we do that through our well-defined engagement process. So we'll support you through that complete evaluation. So working out what is it you're trying to do as a business, what technology is best to help you achieve that goal, and then we engage with the suppliers. So by the time you're getting to looking at suppliers, you know that these suppliers are going to be the right fit for you. So it saves time on no more no bids. We'll stay on top of the suppliers, making sure they follow up on the actions. We stay on top of the suppliers so you don't have to. And best of all, this process, we offer that for free. Just a quick snapshot. These are some of the areas that we've been helping our clients with over this year and last year. Today we're talking about a few key ones, but if there's anything on there that is on your roadmap for now or in 12 months time or whenever indeed, please feel free to reach out to us and one of the team will certainly help you. But as I said, today we've lined up 3 suppliers, probably not household names, but we've picked them out because their offering is a really strong one. They've got some great tools, great in-house development work's been done to bring these technologies to market. So we'll be hearing from Dialpad, AI-powered cloud communication, really strong in voice and customer contact center. We've got Nextiva, again, really strong in customers contact center, but they bring a slightly different approach with some social selling tools, which are really interesting. And then last up, we've got PolyAI, driving AI automation and voice clients. So that's it from me. First up, we've got John from Dialpad.
Perfect. Cheers, Scott. Can you hear me as well? Just making sure I got the...
Yep, got you loud and clear.
All right, cool. Hi, everyone. I'm Josh Hegarty. I'm a partner manager here at Dialpad. Before I pass over and introduce John, who is, he leads up our solution engineering here team, and he's going to show you some elements of the tech today, and in particular how that works within Microsoft Teams. I just want to kind of jump in and just give a quick overview to who we are here at Dialpad. So as I said, myself and John will just be giving you a very quick demonstration of Dialpad today, and why I think these conversations are important, and really going through the history of really communications as a whole. What Dialpad tries to give, and why we partner so well with PrimeTel in an array of industries, is really giving personalization, the ability to communicate on any social channel that you have, to automate and to give insights across every single piece of knowledge that you're having a conversation with within your system, and having the ability to handle and summarize call conversations, to send SMS and WhatsApp all within that one pane of glass, to whether it's on the support side and you're bringing in all different sorts of sales or support tickets from whatever ERP ticketing system. It could be from Instagram. It's really giving you the ability to handle all conversations from that one place, and then giving you insights, analytics, and an AI overview of everything that's going on within your environment. And I kind of mentioned it there, but over the last 20 to 30 years, there's been such a insanely quick shift in what is available to you as the consumer, and leveraging someone like PrimeTel, who can really see the amount of different vendors, different technologies in this space, is going to be instrumental into the way that you're procuring and buying technology moving forwards. And that latest wave, or at least where we see it here at Dialpad, and probably everyone can see it, right, it is AI. And whether you're going to invest in AI technologies or looking to invest in AI technologies, and the pros and cons to it is why you're sitting on this conversation today. And look, AI isn't necessarily let's just buy it and it's going to work. There's a lot of risks to not necessarily risks, but there's a lot of investments into buying AI, and it's not necessarily, you need someone to manage that and look after it, look after all of that knowledge to give you the most accurate results. But what we have seen anyway is once you start to leverage technologies such as Dialpad and Poly and Nextiva on this call today, and how you implement this through and across your layer stack, there are some serious benefits in terms of those listed there, but you'll see it in the tech that we're going to show you very shortly. So finally, before I pass over to John, what we are is a enterprise-grade AI brand for customer conversations. We've built our own large language module purely for businesses, and we've already ingested over 9 billion minutes on that platform of business-grade led conversations. So everything from privacy to security to handling all of these conversations is all Dialpad proprietary technology. So thank you. We're going to go over to the demo now. So I'm just going to stop sharing so John can come on board and show you some elements of our tech.
Thanks, Josh. Just to add, if anyone's got any questions to ask as we go through, just feel free to stick it in the chat and we'll answer it as we go.
Sure. So thanks everyone, and thanks Josh for the introduction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and walk through the Teams integration with Dialpad on how the Dialpad application is very cleanly embedded into the app, and you get a lot of the AI features as well as the blended UC and CC capabilities. So I'm just bringing this up now. All right. So let me know if the screen is okay for everyone.
Yeah, I got that.
Awesome. All right. So as you can see, I'm in the Teams application right now. And what Dialpad has done, we have two different types of integrations with Teams. One is direct routing, which I know most people are familiar with. I basically get an embedded dialer within Teams, and then your Dialpad phone number is here, and you can use the Teams application as you use it today. With direct routing, you can also use the embedded application of Dialpad. And there's also a secondary benefit of using this application is that you can use our license-free routing, which allows you to not use the Teams PBX license. So some great cost savings there, and then you still gain access to this Dialpad application, which again blends UC and CC together. So just as a quick tour of the application, on the right-hand side, I have my name, status, presence information. All this is embedded into the app. I can also assign mobile numbers in the UK. So this will include access to text messaging inbound and outbound, as from an individual point of view, as well as from groups. And then on the left-hand side is where I can navigate the application for different sections, both UC and CC, as I mentioned. And you see icons for calling, messaging, both internal and external with SMS, video, fax, and email outbound and inbound as well. Now, as an individual user, I can use this application for my own personal calls. And one of the great things that Josh mentioned is that AI is wrapped around all of our technology. So if I do go to my own call history, I'm able to see previous calls that were made and these generated recap summaries about the call. So I get the information and the summary about the call, as well as key parts of it, and even a tag about what the call was on. So it's very easy to take notes automatically on your behalf, capture key moments, which you can run reports on in your analytics. You can also search keywords, key phrases, and see trends over time in terms of what is happening. Now, in terms of contact center, I think this is where we can differentiate ourselves a little bit because we have that contact center section as part of the Teams integration. So if I go to my contact center queues, I have both voice and digital queues as part of this. So I can be an agent of either, and I can do blended conversations with voice and digital. And those digital conversations support SMS, WhatsApp, email, web chat, of course, as well as social media channels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into the queue here. Change my status to available. And I'm going to place a call into this contact center. Okay. So I see the inbound call. I answer, and it gives me the Teams window here. So I'm now on a live call. It is leveraging Teams. But if I did want to see a little bit more information, I can go to the Dialpad application here, and I see my call bar as well as my live transcript that's occurring right now. I also have a few other aspects that I can look at, right? So I can see the flow of the call, inbound call from this user to the recruitment contact center. I also see that this is a mobile number that is called in, and then I'm using mobile number for my queue. I also have my mid-call controls like call recording, transfer, hold, conference, all of the things that you would expect. And then, of course, the AI in the center here, which I can remove if I just X out of the box. Now, if I click on the profile of the user, I can see previous calls that have happened, as well as previous transcriptions that were captured. So giving me as the agent or the user insights into what the previous calls were about. And this is going to be shared history between the agents. So everyone in this queue would be able to see the previous interactions, different comments, action items, so everyone understands what this customer's history was. And then on the right-hand side, we have some additional AI capabilities that work in the Dialpad application as well as in Teams. One is an AI-based playbook. Now, this playbook basically is a list of topics or questions that you want your agents or users to accomplish on the call. And what the AI is going to do is going to listen out for these questions and answers, and then check off the boxes as you complete them, making it really easy for the agents to stay on task and understand what they've accomplished so far. Now, in this case, I'm using a customized playbook for sales, but this initially was used for outbound sales teams like BANT, Medic, Spiced Spin. So using those types of methodologies. We also have built-in templates for these types of playbooks, including hiring manager screens, recruitment playbooks as well. So you're able to leverage some templates to build these playbooks, or you can actually customize them entirely and build your own. So very flexible and useful in that way. So if I was on this call and leveraging this playbook, I could ask questions like, hey, can you tell me how many employees work in your organization? And do you have any plans for future growth? And if I were to reply, hey, we have about 50 employees right now, and we plan to grow to 60 in the future. The AI is going to understand that I've asked these questions and received a logical answer, and it's going to check off these boxes for me in just a second. There we go. Company size captured, as well as future growth. So not only does it check off the box, but it gives you a quick summary of the answer. So you as an agent or a rep can keep track of that information and really get that automated note-taking to a next level, not just the transcript, but the actual questions that I need to track for the entire conversation. Okay. The other AI tool that we have embedded in the application is our AI assistant tool. So there's two ways to leverage this tool. Basically, I can get real-time pop-ups based on the actual conversation to tell me what I should do based on a certain question or an issue. Or I can also type to this and ask it questions. So basically what we've done is that we will ingest knowledge based on whatever sources that you would like us to. So your website, your wiki, different documentation from CRMs, etc. And then we'll use generative AI to answer these questions. Basically, it's like your own in-domain ChatGPT. So if I was talking to a candidate for recruitment here, and they asked me on helpful information on building a resume, building tips. This is going to scrape the knowledge sources that we have and provide me with information on how to tailor your resume, highlight key skills, use actions, and I can basically have this conversation with the candidate in terms of career advice, building that resume. And since this is a large language model, it understands context and I can give it instructions. So I can say things like shorten to 2 lines. Right. So now this is a more digestible version of the answer that I can give to that candidate on the live call. So with these two tools combined, my playbook, so that I have my correct questions, it keeps track of my answers, and then as well as my AI assistant, I'm really a highly productive agent. I'll stay on task. I have my information, I have my notes, I have my assistant. So I'm always going to be the best that I can be in terms of my ability. Okay. Now at the end of the call, I'm going to end this here. I can provide the rep or agent with some wrap-up time. This is going to give me the right to select the disposition, a call tag. I can select more than one if needed. I'll also get a suggested AI call purpose. And then I also have my playbook information for my adherence. I can see the 2 items that I've accomplished. And if I need to adjust this, I can also check off additional boxes. And I, as a manager or supervisor, can run reports on the playbook adherence, how well it's performing, what topics are doing best, and if I need to make any adjustments to this. All right. Now, from a back-end point of view, if I do want to look at my calls and my information, I have 2 very helpful sections for analytics. One is the conversation history. This allows me to view all interactions that have happened based on a time frame and a set of group or users. It also has a lot more filters that you can use to really dig deep into what you're looking for. I can actually search based on keywords or phrases and who said them, or key moments and triggers and who triggered them. In this case, I have this last call that I just completed. I can click on the view summary button, and it's going to take me to the section where I can review this call in terms of key moments, generative recap summary, and interesting moments here. I can also see the playbook, and these are the sections that I've accomplished. I can see the full transcript, and I can also add in comments for collaboration with my team. If I did find this was a great example, I also have the option to add these calls to a playlist. So if I said, hey, this is a person that performed very well on this playbook, I want to create a new playlist of high adherence for playbooks and then share that to the team for training, I could do that very easily. You can do this similarly with any other key moments that you may want to track, like negative sentiment or escalations or refund requests, overcoming objections. So you can search the call transcriptions using those key moments, add those to a playlist, and then send them out for training or review. In overall analytics, we do, of course, have our call detail records. But another cool thing that you can leverage is tracking of moments over time. So if I look at this entire office over the past 30 days, I can filter by keywords or moments, like I mentioned before, but I can also see the top trending moments for a particular group or an office over the time period. So these are the top trending moments that I see. And then I also get a breakdown of the users in terms of mentions per agent, per customer, average mentions per call. This is extremely helpful for our clients that are either launching a new product or trying something new in terms of a campaign, and they want to track how successful that campaign is. They can leverage these key moments and see those trends over time. Okay. So again, that was a quick overview of Dialpad in terms of the integration with Teams, how we leverage our AI capabilities within Teams, and then how you can go to the analytics to dissect the calls based on those key moments, those AI tools, and see trends over time using those key moments and the AI as well. Thank you for that.
Brilliant. Thanks, John. So quick question. I mean, the summarization piece is really powerful. We use it within our business. It's a real game changer. Having notes taken for you on calls just allows you to focus more on the task at hand. does Dialpad, I mean, I kind of know that the answer, but does Dialpad integrate into CRMs, and can that data then be referenced in that central source of client engagement platform? And if so, what CRMs do you integrate with off the shelf?
Sure. So short answer is yes, we do. So we'll push the AI data from Dialpad into those CRMs. In terms of off-the-shelf integrations, the most common or the most popular, I'd say, would be Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, Dynamics. So those are off the shelf, and you don't have to build those. You don't have to do anything with APIs. You basically just click enable on Dialpad, point it to your instance, and then log in to that CRM through Dialpad to connect them.
Okay, great. Great, thanks, guys. I'm just going to put up a quick poll. I just want to sort of gauge. I've got a few sort of key challenges as we've sort of picked up through our customer engagement, what organizations are facing. Just want to see if that is replicated. If it's something else, then we can discuss that separately, but please take a few moments to respond if you can. So next up, we have Matthew at PolyAI.
Thank you very much, Scott. Hello, everyone. So today I have the pleasure of talking to you all a bit more about conversational AI. What does that mean? And specifically, PolyAI and our place in the market. Now, before I do so, I actually thought I'd share a bit of trivia. I'm a bit of an AI nerd, and I'm proud to be so. But one of the conversations that we have with a lot of vendors across the market is about, is AI this new technology? Everyone seems to be talking about AI at the moment, and some people think it's sort of come out of nowhere and it's moving so quickly. But I thought it worth just taking a step back and actually level setting and sort of going into it in a bit more detail, because actually the concept of machine intelligence first came about 65 years ago. So this is not a new technology. It's not a new concept. It's just something that is becoming more readily available to the everyday consumer and something that we're seeing more often. So I actually think it was 1950, Alan Turing published Computer, Machinery and Intelligence. And I think that was, I don't know if people have heard of The Imitation Game, but that was effectively the first concept of known machine intelligence in public society. And it wasn't until 1955 that the term artificial intelligence was actually coined. So this is something that I always think it's quite cool to highlight, that actually this isn't a new technology. It's something that's been around for a while, and we're just getting to the point where we can really leverage and see the benefits of AI in today's society. So what I'll do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'll be able to give a bit more of an information, a bit more oversight of PolyAI as a company. So give me one moment. There we go. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep, got that.
Perfect. Cheers for that. So I've worked in this space now for the last 12 years. And I've worked with vendors such as Microsoft, IBM, Amazon, Google. And in the last decade, no vendor, no technology has impressed me as much in this space as PolyAI. Now, PolyAI have been building enterprise level conversation assistants. I'm going to specifically focus on voice assistants today, but they've been building those for the last 8 years. We were spun up out of the Machine Intelligence Lab at Cambridge University. So our 3 founders, they are all doctors, not medical doctors, but doctors in machine learning, but specializing in dialogue design and dialogue systems. And I think that's where it's really important for how do we engage truly lifelike experiences between a machine and humans. And the dialogue design part of it is, how do we interact as people? Like there, I've taken a big breath. We have prosody adjustments. We change the way that we speak. We have pauses, ums and ahs, and there are inflections in our tone and pitch, depending on whether it's an emotive topic. And all of this takes a big part in how do we create that natural human-like speech when speaking with an AI agent. And PolyAI in the last 8 years has quickly become the most trusted provider of AI agents globally. Now, when we talk about lifelike, as you can see on the screen here, it goes beyond just having a lifelike voice. And one of the beauties of working with the market leading AI company is that I can let the technology do a lot of the talking for me. So just before I do that, I thought it worth sharing that our platform, we can handle, I'd say, up to 90% of all inbound contact that comes into an organization. We are trusted by some of the largest brands globally, and this is not something that is industry specific. We're industry agnostic. So I like to say we work from banking to burgers. It could be some of the largest financial institutions globally. It could be a fast food restaurant, hospitalities, healthcare, telco. Any organization that is receiving a large inbound contact volume, specifically focusing on voice here, but it could be other channels as well, we effectively can handle those calls without the need to speak to an agent. Now, not only are we trusted by some of the largest enterprises globally, but you can see here you've got the likes of NVIDIA, some of the most notable names in AI, trusting PolyAI's vision so much so that they've invested in us. And this is further recognized by the fact that we've been in the space for a little while now. We've achieved accreditations and awards from the likes of Forbes, Gartner. We've got Best Use of AI, Technology of the Year. And it's something that we've been consistently recognized for over the last 8 years. So what I'll do now is actually get into some live customer calls. I thought the best way to sort of guide you through what can voice AI do now for customer service is to play some calls for you from our customers that we've been given permission to share with you all. Now, although these scenarios here, I'm looking at retail, it could be, I have a separate slide for every industry. So it could be healthcare, it could be hospitalities, it could be finance, telco, etc., as I mentioned previously. So what I'll do is I'll just press play on a call. I'll turn it up and hopefully you can hear it coming through my screen, and we'll talk through some of the examples that we have here.
The Wheat Sheaf, Lower Woodford, Salisbury. Good morning, I'm Polly. How can I help you today?
Oh, good morning. I'd like to book a table, if I can, on Saturday, coming up Saturday, for 2 people for lunch.
Okay, what time do you think you'll be here?
Would 12:30 be acceptable to you?
Okay, let me just have a look at what space we have.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a table on the 14th of September at 12:30 p.m. for 2 people. Shall I get that booked in for you?
Oh, please. Yes, that would be wonderful.
Great. Can I have your full name, please?
Teresa with an H, and the surname is...
Can we reach you on this number?
Yes, you certainly can.
Perfect. I'm just waiting to see that go through.
Oh, lovely.
And that's done. Is there anything else you need to let me know? Any allergies or any other notes I should make for your booking?
No, that's all. We'll see you on Saturday.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
Thank you. And you. Bye.
Perfect. So there's the first example of a live customer call that we have in this scenario, Hall & Woodhouse. So they're sort of a pub restaurant chain. And you can see there the caller calls in. They want to book a table. We actually facilitate an active negotiation of, okay, what time do you want to come in? We will do an API lookup of their existing booking platform, see what space they've got, see if we can fulfill that booking, and then we can actually go through and complete that interaction without the need to speak to a human agent. Now, one thing that I'd like to highlight in this call is I mentioned earlier about how we bring dialogue design into the situation. And hopefully you'll agree that it's quite a natural interaction. We actually do a lot in the sense of how do we hide what is typically known as latency in this space? What does that look like when we're doing that API call to fetch that information? And that's where we bring in the prosody adjustment and the elongation of certain words of, let me have a look at what space we have. So we're combining the dialogue design with the technology to actually create a situation where we're removing that latency by doing things that we do as everyday people all the time. If someone asks one of your agents a question and they need to look at a system, or they need to go away and try and find that information, we do the same thing. We increase the word length, we do ums and ahs to try and fill that silence, and the same thing happens within our platform to create a truly unique and human-like experience. Now, I've got 2 more calls I'll play before I hand over. One of which here is Carter's. Carter's is an online retail brand. They had really, really challenging experiences with having to hire during peak periods. So between sort of Black Friday and New Year, they'd have to hire hundreds of additional agents to deal with the inbound influx of volume. And we actually saved them 1.05 million in reduced operational cost throughout a 3-month period. So I'll just play a call from them.
Thank you for calling Carter's in Oshkosh B'gosh. My name is Maria. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm wondering if I can get price adjusted. Item that I purchased yesterday is on sale right now.
Sure, I can check if your order is eligible for a price adjustment. Real quick, can I just check if the original purchase was made online or in store?
Online.
Great. I see an order here associated with the number you're calling from, but I just need to check that it's the right one. Do you have the last 4 digits of your order number on you?
Okay, hold on a second.
Sure, just let me know whenever you're ready.
Okay. It's 0206.
Great, I've got the right order here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and see what discounts I can apply for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so with the price adjustment, it looks like we can refund you $3.60, which would make your new total $5.99 before any shipping and taxes. Should I go ahead with that?
Yes.
Alrighty, that's confirmed. Your refund will appear on the same payment method you used to place the original order.
So I'll pause it there just because I'm conscious we've got a bit of a time limit. But again, in this scenario, although the interaction comes across as simple, which is great, it's testament to our technology, you've actually got multiple integration points. You've got multiple API lookups where we're having to track an order, understand what that order is, where it is in the system. We're then looking at, okay, well, what did they purchase it for? What's the price adjustment that needs to be done? We're also looking at payment information and which card we're actually issuing that refund for. But all of this is holistically brought together to create a seamless interaction and allow people to get the information they want when they want it, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, without needing to be left on hold or jump through a million hoops or press a standard DTMF IVR as an example. The third and final example that I'll show, something that we get asked a lot in this space is, well, what works well with an intelligent AI agent? What scenario should we look at? And can the technology show empathy when engaging with certain call types? Now, I will give a bit of a warning. This is a sensitive topic, this call. It is a customer calling in as a family member has passed away. And I just wanted to show an example of how the technology actually reacts to that information and how we serve this call.
Hi, thanks for calling NS&I. How can I help?
Oh, hi. My mom's passed away, and we need to find out how much bonds is for the probate of a will.
I'm very sorry to hear of your loss. Our dedicated team is here to help. Just so I'm sure, have you already sent your instructions to us?
Sorry?
Have you sent us a bereavement claims form?
No, where is that?
Okay. All you need to do is get the executor, legal representative, or next of kin to fill out our online bereavement claims form. Do you know where to find this?
No.
No problem. You can find all our forms on our website. Are you able to go online?
Yes.
Great. I'll send you a link to all our forms. Am I okay to send this to the number you're calling from?
Yes, that would be fine.
Okay, I sent you a...
So again, conscious of time, but in this scenario, we always want to answer every interaction and handle every experience to the level of your top call handler. And we will do that consistently on every call, irrelevant of time of day, day of the week, or when we're operating. Now, in this scenario, we've answered very happily. Hi, welcome to NS&I. How can we help? but then the system's identified that, look, this is a vulnerable caller, it's a very sensitive topic. You see the tone comes right down, he slows down and interacts with that user in a way that is understanding of their situation and their needs as a caller. So I will leave my part there. This was just to give you sort of a general oversight of what we're doing in the voice AI space currently. If you have any questions that are specific to your industry, or just really want to have a more general understanding of how you can implement AI within your space, please reach out to the PrimeTel team or reach out to us directly. We are more than happy to have that interaction with you and really help guide you through what is quite a noisy space. Everyone is talking about what we can do in AI at the moment. We've been doing this for a long time and we are happy to help.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Matthew. I got to say, it's really impressive, the voice recognition element of it. I mean, some of those calls, I couldn't even understand what they were saying. So yeah, it's very, very good technology. I mean, I open it up to questions if anyone's got any. Feel free to put it in the chat. One question I've got is, you know, we often hear about it in the press of, you know, AI being implemented, whether that's on a website via a chatbot or via a voice agent, and stories of people going in, engaging with them and trying to break it, you know, getting it to say things it shouldn't say, getting it to recommend competitors or things like that. How do you prevent that happening within the PolyAI platform?
So it's all built into the platform. So we have a tool called Agent Studio, which is where we build out these tools, or we give our partners access to build out the tools as well. Now, just the way that I position it is people need to stop thinking of these AI agents as AI and think of it as, how would we train a staff member to handle this query? What would we do in that scenario? What is the playbook that we would give them, or the information that we would train our staff member on? And this is exactly the same that we're doing at Poly.AI. We are treating it as an employee. We are training it on the correct data. And when we look at the generative AI side of it, where you can start to look at people trying to break systems, we have, well, we work with some of the largest banks and central government, so we have a lot of guardrails and safety features in place to make sure that this can't happen. I do, however, have some very funny calls that I can share of where we've tried to break the system during UA testing. So you can see what we're doing to get around this and how we then prevent that as well. Okay,
great. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Good. Okay, so next up we have a rising star amongst our supplier base, and that's Nextiva. So welcome, Richard. Interesting to learn more about your proposition.
Thank you very much, Scott. Hi, everyone. I'm Richard Nelson, Solutions Architect here at Nextiva, where we love powering human connection. Can everybody see my screen there?
Yep.
Fantastic. So a little bit about Nextiva. So Nextiva is making unified customer experience management available to all sizes of industries. Currently have around 1,500 employees. We are powering around 100 million interactions per month, 50 patents, of which 30 have been approved, around 1 million users. And we're providing that, that comprehensive approach to experience management by unifying the front and back office, contact center, sort of branch office, remote workers, voice and digital communications. And companies can finally improve that customer experience within one solution. So, and this ensures, that seamless customer interaction on their chosen channel across that whole customer journey. And as you can see, there's just a few of our logos there, of which I imagine you recognize quite a few of them. So, we're really incredibly proud of our implementation team as well, which has an NPS of 85, where we see across the industry it's an average of 30. So when it really came to designing our platform, it's really all around, I suppose, and the ethos behind the evolution of the platform, it's really all around, how do we make life as easy as possible, not only for the customer, but for the agents as well. right? And all of that's in line to drive maximum value in operational efficiency, reduction in average handle time, and after call work time, but whilst empowering your agents with the right tools, resulting in excellent customer service. And you can really drive that value wherever you please, whether it be revenue increase, cost reduction, operational agility, or operational efficiency. And if you ask any business which one they want, hey, give me it all, right? But generally the needle will point in one of those directions initially for you guys. Let's jump into the platform and take a look. Today I'll be showing you the more social side of our platform. We do offer a UC platform. We have CC as well, and it's all within one area. This specific area is our social media management and listening platform. Right now you're looking at a dashboard where we give you the ability to plug in not only your pages but your competitors' pages as well. So in this case, I have X, Facebook, I've got Facebook groups, LinkedIn pages, I've got YouTube, Google Play, Tumblr, we've got Glassdoor. I'll run through a quick list shortly. But I've skipped a few here. And these ones being news, discussions, and blogs. Now, what this allows you to do is actually plug in keywords and phrases and actually have an insight as to not only what's going on in your world, but going on in your competitors' world as well. So, not only can you use it from a customer experience management perspective, you can use it in a marketing perspective, and you can also use it in a sales capacity lead generation perspective too. So it really starts to work across the board for you. As you can see, we have a bit of a dashboard here. We've got a total number of tickets. So every interaction that arrives into our platform creates a ticket within our platform. You can see here we've got assigned, unassigned, daily averages, and between the selected time frame, in this case 7 days, we've had 563 million impressions. Now, as I scroll on down, we'll start to see a sentiment breakdown of those interactions. You can see here we've got positive, negative, and neutral, and you've got the word clouds associated with those specific sentiments. The bigger the word, the more often it's being used, and we can see here, let's click on inconvenience caused, occurred 519 times within 7 days, and everything on this is clickable, right? So it gives you the ability to really drill down and see where these things are taking place in the world. Now, as I've clicked on it, you see I've got a buzz trend, and I can actually select which I can select exactly where. Again, they're clickable, and it will drill down further, and I can see exactly where these things were and associated trending topics accordingly. Here you can see inconvenience caused, we've got regret, responded, and here are all of the different tickets that, all those top hitters, and we're given the ability to actually see the ticket numbers, we can see the criticality, and we've got the ability to see where it's assigned and the sentiment associated with it. As we scroll on down, we see a geography of exactly where they are, and in this case, a majority of them were commented in India. I can click on India and I can actually drill down into exactly where those things are being posted, okay? And again, I've then got a breakdown of the regions there, and of course, I have a gender against age with a overall trend down the bottom there as well. So let's jump into the Unibox. The Unibox is the agent view, and as with many of these contact center platforms, we're given the ability to route these based on specific information. We can go ahead and data dip from pretty much anywhere that has the data available via API. Excuse me. And it gives us the ability to start routing based on that information, whether they're a VIP, how much money do they spend with us? Are they a vulnerable customer? We can start analyzing this information and actually start routing them to the right person, speaking the right language at the right time, with the right information available to deal with their query in the most efficient and contextual way possible, not only during the interaction, but after the interaction as well. Let's jump in and let's take a look. So I'm going to go ahead and just search a ticket here. So you can see we've got the sort of inbox here. We've got the ability to see the inbox. We've got social listening. We've got all and saved filters as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to jump in with a ticket number there. And we can see here we have an interaction. Just give me a second there. There we go. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, fantastic. So as you can see here, we've got Chef's profile. This is his X profile. We have the ability to plug in all of these other different handles, and it gives us the ability to start seeing that timeline of that interaction as well. Now, as an agent, I can go ahead and I can start working on this, and it gives me the ability to go ahead and start replying to messages accordingly. I can reply to the message straight to the page it was posted on, or I can even go down to replying directly into their inbox. We always inherit the amount of characters allowed on that channel. For example, SMS, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, they've all got those minimum, maximum characters. So we inherit that here as well. Now, imagine I need to send this to my boss for consent. Myself as an agent, I may not have the ability to go ahead and actually post something. I might be a bit unsure about it. I can go ahead and seek consent. I can also reply and escalate. I can reply and follow. Now, we've got all of the different kinds of things you can attach. You've got links, emojis. I've even got canned suggestions that use the screen name variables, and I can go ahead and actually throw those things in there as well. I can add notes in, internal notes, which will show up inside this timeline here as well. And as you can see, you've got a bit of a timeline as to what's going on within that interaction. I can bring in any survey results. I've got Shopify lookups. I can do pretty much anything I please within this workspace, and it allows us to go ahead and actually really draw that 360 view of the customer and what's going on there. Right at the top, I can change, the status of the ticket, and I actually have the ability to have an AI suggestion reply for me. So you can plug in whether it's your Gemini or ChatGPT account, gives you the ability to go ahead and analyze everything that's coming in, and it can even do so before handing off to a human. If you've got, if you've got a specific set of replies that you might want to send based on what's going on in that conversation, you can put a bot in front of every single channel that we offer. I also have the ability here to send later, so I can schedule things as well. Now, on the right-hand side, I can change the priority very quickly and easily. I've got case forms if I want to actually, push to Salesforce or push to wherever I please. I can give them the ability to do so. I've got an FAQ, so the ability to actually click on something in here and say, okay, just help me out with this, and it will go ahead and grab the information for you. CRM details, I can bring in all that context that I spoke of in regards to routing those things, and it gives us the ability to go ahead and do a search. In this case, it's doing a fresh desk search for me. Okay, let's jump over into the settings and just have a quick look through all the channels that we can offer here. So let's jump in and take a quick look. So as we jump into social, we can see here all of the usual suspects. We've got YouTube, Instagram, all of the X options there, TikTok, app reviews, Google Play, App Store, Amazon product reviews. We've got Trustpilot, and we've actually created some of these for some of our customers as well. As you can see, some of them have their very own reviewing platforms within their apps, and we can do that as well for yourselves or any of your customers as well. We have a live chat option. Does what it says on the tin. We can actually have a bot there as well, and we've got a messaging apps section 2 where you've got all the usual suspects, whether it be Telegram, Twilio, Instant Messenger, WeChat, and Line, WhatsApp, etc. We also have an other section, so again, any customized editions there, and a Facebook ads too. So I'd like to jump now and just show you a compare. So not only can you see and manage your own things here as well, but we give you the ability to actually compare those with your competitors. So what I'm going to do, I may have Let's have a look. So I've got my business, and I've got maybe another business, my competitor, and I can actually go ahead and select a time frame that I want to compare. Now, basically what this allows me to do is not only look at how many interactions we've had, total volumes, but it allows me to go ahead and look at all of the different reviews and what those breakdown in reviews are and exactly where they've come from, right? So you can see here, I can actually go ahead and click on these. We've got 1,447 total. I've got all of the age against gender. I've got all of the different word clouds, and I can start to look at exactly where those things have been mentioned as well across the globe, all of the different trends, positive, negative, and neutral. And it gives me the ability to really understand what's happening with my business and my competitors. We also give the ability, if you were to use any influencers for your marketing or advertising, we can actually start tracking them based on how many followers they've got. We can start to see a really holistic view of what's happening with your post, how many hits it's got, how many likes it's got, how many followers, certain individuals have got. We can start to track all of that kind of stuff. Now, we also have the ability to go ahead and publish. Now, from a publish perspective, it gives us the ability to go ahead and compose messages out to certain areas. And we have the ability to start composing, uploading images, GIFs, emojis. You can create a portfolio of those or a repository, and gives us the ability to actually have all of these things scheduled and then tracked across how many views, etc., etc. I can target specific countries. I've got specific languages, and I've got specific locations that I might want to target. And it gives us the ability to see the previews in each of the channels that we allow those on as well. So going back home, last but not least, how easy is this to implement? The answer is very, very, very simple. And it's really a case, you don't need to get your IT involved. You don't need to get any sort of developers, etc. It's really a case of running through, customize your workspace, give it a name, invite your team. Who do you want involved in this? Adding your social channels, connecting your, whether it be your line, YouTube, Instagram, etc. And you can connect multiple accounts at once, right? And you can then choose, once they're authenticated, which accounts you want to reply from. I can start monitoring my competitors. Hey, add some competitors in here. Let's see what they're doing. Online reviews, add in your separate ones, whether it's Trustpilot, Glassdoor, you name it. We can connect with it, and then add all your messaging apps in too. Throw in some live chat, build a quick bot, add in your integrations, and complete your setup. So, in essence, the idea here is to draw that 360 view around that customer journey, and that allows you not only to understand what your customers are up to, but it gives them the ability to navigate through your business in the most efficient and contextual way possible, and thus hopefully resulting in some amazing customer service. That's all from me, folks. Thank you very much for your time, and over to you, Scott.
Brilliant. Cheers, Richard. What I would like to say is this is just a small part of what Nextiva can do. And, when looking at, like I said, Nextiva are a rising star amongst our portfolio because what they can offer in the customer engagement and telephony space is vast, and trying to pick out something unique was quite a challenge because they've got lots of uniqueness within their platform. It's all built on their own IP and their own investment into their own technology, and the social selling side of it I think is great. It's standout. There's not a lot of organizations that can do all of it, from telephony to contact center to social selling. So it was something that I said, let's have a look at that, because I think it's really interesting, and I know a lot of organizations can benefit from that. So thanks, Richard, that was really good. I'm just going to throw up one last poll just so we can sort of gauge relevance. So our job as PrimeTel now is to follow up with you all individually and see where you are on this journey, what's relevant. There was a question raised in the chat by Julie, and thank you for that. And in essence, the question was around how do we make AI affordable? and that's really where PrimeTel comes in. So we've got relationships with the suppliers you've seen today. That's a small snapshot of the hundreds of suppliers that we have qualified as part of our process, and some are right for others and some are not, and our job, like I said, is to evaluate all those suppliers so that when somebody comes to us and says we've got a requirement, we take into consideration everything, and budget is one. So we'll follow up with you, Julie, after this, and perhaps one of the suppliers on the call will be a good fit. If not, we can help you find one that is. So that's kind of our role. So unless anyone's got any other questions. Nope. So thank you to all the presenters. Thank you for staying. It's a really good session, and really appreciate those that have joined. As went out in the marketing, there is a prize to offer to one lucky person as a chance to go to the Grand Prix. So we'll be following up with that person once we've decided who that will be.